Hello. You're listening to What the Fuck Do We Know? What are we going to do today? Let me tell you.
Tell me.
We're going to kvetch. I think that's anti-Semitic that I say that because I guess it's like a Jewish thing to say kvetch, to complain. I don't know.
I don't know this word.
To complain.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, I think it's anti-Semitic. For me to use it considering I'm not Jewish. I apologize. I have a lot of Jewish friends. Okay, where was I saying? I'm going to complain.
That was anti-Semitic.
That was anti-Semitic?
Yeah.
I have a lot of Jewish friends. It's not
No, but it's like, imagine someone saying, okay, that's not racist. I have many
That's what
black
a
friends.
joke is called. You heard of them?
I've read about them.
Okay, so I'm going to complain, basically, in this episode. And then you're going to complain. Then I'm going to complain some more. And then you're going to complain. Okay? That's what the episode is about. This is going to be venting about annoying little shits. And for me, it's on the internet. Annoying little shits on the internet. And I think I'm getting old. What are you going to be complaining about?
I'm going to complain about TV shows.
Okay. Good. Here's my number one thing. Reaction videos. What the fuck are those? Why, in the name of whatever God exists or doesn't, but why have we decided that we like to watch people make faces to other people doing things? Because these reactioners or whatever, they don't actually know anything about what they're reacting to. Some stupid person, forgive me, but I'm going to be very rude to them because I don't like it. Some person sits in front of their computer and records themselves watching another person do something. And you have like a caption, vocal coach reacts to blah, blah, blah person singing. And this motherfucker doesn't even say anything. They don't say anything. They just make faces and then pause the music sometimes to go, okay, they don't say anything, that's not good. But they pause the music sometimes to go like, that's good. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's impressive. Bitch, talk about technique. Tell us how the motherfucker did that thing with their voice. If you have got anything technical to say, get the fuck off the internet, because what is that? There's this bitch that is so popular, and forgive my language, but everyone is a bitch. On the internet, I don't know her name. She has a weird scarf on her head, and she records reactions to albums, and people wait for this thing. And I'm like, why the fuck? She's not some kind of expert. Why does her opinion matter to you people? And then they go into like a frenzy when she doesn't like an album that they like, or she, rates an album differently than they expect. And people go into a frenzy and they're just always upset about it. I'm like, why the fuck have you given her a platform to begin with? Why is she on the internet just moving her head and saying, and then she has a platform? Why is this a thing?
Most of your frustration is with the listeners, with the viewers, right?
Well,
not with the content makers.
Also the content maker, because fuck you.
But they are earning money.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Yes, it's so. But my major frustration is with the listeners, the viewers. Yes, the people who watch these people and allow them to think that it's okay to what do they call it? Snip? I don't know. In on TikTok, they have these things where they put a video in a video. Do you know? I feel so old because I don't use TikTok.
Picture?
No. They have this thing where someone has done a TikTok video and there is another person who is just like in the corner going, I'm like, what?
You know more about TikTok than I do. And I have it installed on my phone.
I see these videos on Twitter. And I'm like, what is your job in this video? Because like there's a funny thing and somebody has, I think it's called a stitch. I'm not sure. I feel like I've heard that before. I feel so bad. But yeah, anyway, there's someone who is like, someone has done something funny. And there's some bitch in the corner laughing as you're watching the funny. Why did you think that you should make a video of yourself laughing through something? What?
So you should add another level here and just watch their videos of laughing like of the original video, and then you keep building up, and there is this
laugh again.
Yeah, you laugh at those people, and then you like it becomes very meta, and
no, because it doesn't help though. It makes it so annoying to me. I can't even laugh at the funny thing because they are just this random person in the corner laughing. It's like, why are you relevant? There is a guy that really pissed me off. Oh,
why do you keep watching them?
They just show up on Twitter sometimes, and I see them. It's not like I've not watched many of this. They're just the few that I've seen are the ones that I really hate. So there's a guy who reacts to people singing, and I kid you not, this idiot just puts his face there, and you know when the person hits a high note, he does like a face like. And I checked his profile and he has hundreds of thousands of followers. And I'm looking at the videos. It's the same fucking thing. Bitch, sing if you can. What? Okay. What is happening? I don't get it. It really stumps me. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching here? Like for a few seconds before I lose my shit on them.
Okay, my turn. So I've noticed recently, I will not be as emotional as you.
No, I am an emotional person.
I'm just
FYI.
I complain, but it's more about consistency.
No, I heard you complain very rudely yesterday and today about people, so don't even.
Well, they were rude, annoying, more annoying. So TV shows, I've been quite critical about some TV shows recently, and I'm a very analytical person. But I think I'm reasonable, but probably not. So my problem is that I can accept like some kind of assumptions, like fantasies, for instance. I can accept some kind of assumptions. If you want flying dragons, I'm fine. If you want magic, I'm fine. My problem is when you have to build the entire universe around these new features of the world. If you have magic, okay, now we have magic, people have to behave in the way like there is magic. People have to remember that they can use this spell when there is a need for that spell, and not only use it whenever there is a fight. You know, it has to be logical within the world that they created.
What?
Doesn't make okay. No. This TV show C.
That's the name of the show?
Yes. But
just the C letter C?
No. Like C with your eyes.
Oh, okay.
But most people are blind there, obviously.
Okay.
So there was, I will not go in detail. The thing is that most people are blind. The problem is they fight better than seeing people.
Really?
Yes. But this is, if they somehow developed the skill of like feeling, again, this is magic, but this is fine. The problem is that one scene they're fighting better than a seeing person. Another scene, they're blind and they can find something. One scene that they can run through a crowd and somehow, and like there was a fight, a guy just run and other people kind of built stairs for them to get over the opposing army and like to jump over them.
Jesus.
And they just run, and they knew where these people would be, and they just jump over. Next scene, people walk after each other, holding each other's back because they can't see, and they use the stick to know what's happening.
Maybe there's something that possesses them when it's time to fight?
It's just like they just want good fights. That's it.
It's a new series?
It's been like 3 seasons. I watched all of it, by the way.
What is wrong with you? What are you complaining about?
That's why the thing is that I watch, I stop, I complain for 5-10 minutes, then I continue. And this is the entire cycle. That's why it takes longer.
I'm going to call you out on this your complaint, because remember when we talked about sci-fi and I said that I don't watch sci-fi because sci-fi, first of all, is supposed to be based on science, and that's a real thing. But every time I see that science fiction always exaggerates.
It's not supposed to be. It's called science fiction.
But the first thing is science.
And the second is fictional science.
And the science that they come up with is so bizarre all the time. And they always like exaggerate and go very far. And you said this. You said that it's not like you said my argument was unreasonable or something because it's fictional. But it doesn't make sense. It's not for me.
If it is consistent, I think there are not that many sci-fi TV shows, which is a pity because I love sci-fi. What they usually do, these moments when they start explaining and just dropping a bunch of scientific or pseudoscientific words.
Where they just talking a lot of nonsense.
I space out, honestly. Like, I space out.
It's just like someone just comes up with all these ridiculous vox blah 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 blah, and I'm like, yeah, let's chill. Let's try to create our fiction based on actual things that exist. Why can't we do that? Why are we making up things?
Well, some of those ideas exist in theory, but they don't expect people to understand. It's just some kind of...
It really pisses me off. That's why I don't watch science fiction. Because like you're just watching and someone starts explaining some ridiculous phenomenon that just doesn't exist in any way. And we can't imagine it, but people don't pay attention to this ridiculous phenomenon that they're describing. That's why they get away with it. But it doesn't make any sense at all. And my mind is just like, fuck it. Fuck this. I don't want to understand. I don't want to look at this.
Another thing I hate is this shooting. When people shoot and you just miss. And this is classic, but why do you need it? I just don't understand. Like, it's a thriller.
Well, you have to feel some kind of...
But do you actually feel anything? Because you know that hero will not be killed. This is your main character. It's... you've watched movies.
Oh, have you seen the meme with Harry Potter? I think I showed you where in the beginning, like when they're on the train, where Harry is with Hermione and, my God, Ron. And they see this car and they're like, are you the boy or whatever? You know that scene on the train? And he says like, yes. And Hermione just takes her word and goes, abracadabra. And I thought that is the best way to just start the film. Speaking of both of them, by the way, J.K. Rowling and Hermione, Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe, Hermione and Harry, because you never know these people's names, made a statement like previously where they kind of were not on the same side as J.K. Rowling and her trans stuff. And recently J.K. Rowling said that she will never forgive them.
Ouch.
They didn't ask for
forgive. Okay.
It was just a very odd statement. I still follow J.K. Rowling and I am frustrated by her sometimes, but I don't unfollow her because I think that some of the tactics used to argue with her, I think there are people that make real arguments with her, but there are real people that on the internet, I guess this is the second thing I can complain about, but I don't really care that much, but they really attack her for ridiculous things, and they really, really attack. And some people share her information, her child, her address because she's like a TERF, and it's crazy that is your way. Just have an argument. If you don't agree with her, have an argument. She writes, you write. She writes, you write. Have that argument, but she's not sharing anybody's information. Like, go and get this person. It's weird that people share her information. I don't know why people resort to that low level of argument.
I think it should be illegal, I think.
She recently had a situation where somebody posted information of threatening her, or I don't remember exactly what it was, but she reported this, but it was on the internet, of course. So she reported this to the police, and the police decided not to pursue charges on this. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why.
But I don't think it's illegal in countries. Yeah, I think if you don't incite violence in the same message, then it's not illegal. But if you do, context matters here.
Yes, but that's the thing, is that we will just, until it happens, then everybody's going to go, there were no signs until it finally happens. That's what happens to a lot of people.
Right.
But I mean, I don't agree with her or everything. I think that she sometimes exaggerates the problem that she's arguing. But I don't think that people should be attacking her like that, posting personal information. I don't know why the argument cannot stay within the conversation that you're having. Why it has to go into well, you're dumb. Well, you're a stupid person.
Personal, fight of ideas versus...
just argue about what you guys are arguing about. If you're educated enough to argue it, then argue with her. If you're not, honestly, which some people are not, then don't just get into the argument with her. There is nothing you benefit from arguing with J.K. Rowling.
Oh, people like arguing.
Yeah, but
do you think there is anyone saying that, oh no, I'm not educated enough to argue?
No. I love an argument. I love an argument.
Okay.
Love it. But also I know where I'm out of my depth. I'm not going to argue physics with anybody.
No, you just argued that this shit in sci-fi there is bullshit physics. How do you know that?
I know because I know enough physics to know it's bullshit.
Okay, so you do.
But no, if there is I'm not gonna get into an argument with physics because I know my knowledge is limited, and it's going to run out very quickly. It's really going to run out so quickly. So I'm not going to start arguing with someone about something that I have no fucking idea what it is. I could argue up to where I know and then just bail. But then I'm not just going to go, well, you stupid bitch.
Well, the thing is that there are some things where you don't really need any background. You can just have an opinion.
Sure.
That's why politics is like so many people are interested in politics.
Yes,
you don't really...
But there is like a level of education that is necessary to have a sound argument, I believe.
But sound arguments, according to whom? It's like people who make arguments, usually they consider their arguments sound and valid.
But even if no matter how like sound or not sound it is, my point is just stick to the argument and don't go personal. It's like I told you, you just have a difference of opinion in politics, and the next thing you're called like Islamophobic or something like that. It's like Jesus Christ. Let's read what we are actually talking about and understand, and people just go very far all the time on the internet. They just like really go, well, I hope you die. Like, Jesus Christ. Fuck. I just said, what? It's just like a very big leap. And just like, what the fuck, Although recently, O.J. Simpson, do you know him?
Yes,
he died. Yes, he died recently. And Caitlyn Jenner tweeted, "Good riddance, #O.J. Simpson." And somebody in her comment was like, "You're next." And I laughed.
I mean, you can laugh at
because
bad things.
because Caitlyn Jenner is so like critical of O.J. Simpson for killing people. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Jenner killed a bunch of people in her car.
She did?
Yeah, she killed people
Okay,
with her
I don't know
car.
her biography.
And she went and won Glamour Women of the Year award the same year after she killed.
Was it an accident or what?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
she was not just fucking following that. But no, she killed people, and then she was Glamour Women of the Year. And I remember that year because Ricky Gervais made a joke. This is when I still like Ricky. He made a joke about her and was like, great year for trans women, or Caitlyn Jenner, horrible year for women drivers.
I think I've seen this one.
And that's hilarious, but people went in on, people like were complaining about this joke, but I thought it was a funny joke.
But I think people complain about, like, it's really, it's impossible to find something that people will not complain about. Oh, it has to be so fucking boring.
I mean, we're here complaining.
But it has to be really boring for people not to care enough to complain.
Yeah, but which brings me to my
third.
Oh, it's my second one.
It was interim?
Yeah.
Okay. Side note?
Yes, there's a side note. No, but my second thing is the response to cancel culture, so to speak, by comedians, by comics. I don't see a lot of other people. I don't really think that cancel culture works very well in terms of canceling people, except you commit like a crime like Bill Cosby or like Matt Lauer. I don't think you know these people. But I think that comedians have this issue now where people are hypersensitive to jokes. People don't take their time to listen to a joke and understand the target of the joke. And I think if you listen to the target of the joke, you understand it's not this group that you think is being targeted by the joke. But it's sometimes the jokes are offensive, and it's expected. We are living in a different time. Things change. What is considered normal or whatever, it changes. That is life. Jokes that were told 70 years ago may not stand now. It makes all the sense in the world. But comics are now going on the defense. And rather than just writing a good joke, they're going like, oh, people are attacking the comedians now. Comedians are held to such a high standard. Now we cannot tell jokes anymore. I'm really...
Can they?
They can. You tell a good joke. Because when you're going in and the first thing is like, oh, these people are not going to get my jokes because they're too sensitive. You get so lazy, you write a shit joke and then you explain it by saying that people are too sensitive. You go on stage and you spend your time explaining comedy to people. Just write a fucking joke and don't come and explain. There are many comedians that tell jokes. Sarah Silverman is a comedian that has lasted time. She tells jokes that are far there. Sarah Silverman does that. Michelle Wolf tells jokes that are really ridiculous, really kind of far and just touching the line. But she tells a joke and she makes sure that the target of the joke is obvious, that she's not attacking like a group of people or attacking some specific idea. But you go outside and like Jimmy Carr that I sent you, the beginning of the joke was like a child goes to an elder and says, "Hello, non-binary elder." Yeah, okay. And where's the fucking funny there? That is the beginning of your joke? What? And he ended it like, just like when One Direction broke up. One thing that One Direction and 9/11 have in common. I didn't care, and I don't care. Okay, yeah, that was like fucking 20-something years ago. Who the fuck cares? Now, either. And then when people don't laugh, you're like, it's so sensitive. Here is a joke. Bitch, write a better joke. Write a better joke.
How do you gather so much content for this podcast? You've been mastering this hate, this despise to content makers.
It's not hate.
To our fellow content makers. Where is your professional solidarity?
No, I am being very supportive here for their careers, because if they wanted to continue, they need to stop being fucking babies.
Right, this is constructive feedback.
Yes, make a joke. Write a fucking joke. I'm not going to watch Ricky Gervais' new stand-up, because the last stand-up I watched, it was him spending 90 minutes telling people, oh, it's okay, it's a joke. Bitch, we know. It's just not good. It's like I was screaming at my computer. I was like, motherfucker, tell a joke. And I will laugh. Just tell a fucking joke. That was it. Because before, he has great specials. He just starts and he tells his jokes. People laugh. People don't like. Why the fuck do you want to be oppressed? Why? I agree people are more sensitive, but that doesn't mean it's impossible to tell a joke. Some people will laugh. Some people won't laugh. Move on. Fucking tell your jokes. That's all. But they're lazy. They're fucking lazy.
I can't make, like, my things are like people making bad arguments. It's gonna be so boring.
Why?
I mean, no, it's just like I watch a lot of political stuff, and when people make a bad
I have
argument,
political stuff as well. I'm angry with a lot of things. My third thing is based in politics, so
wait, what was it? Just recently. Oh, I mean, it's kind of boring, but whatever. These,
okay.
yeah, I accept it. I embrace it. You know Friedman, right? A Russian businessman. Yeah. So recently they won.
Because of you?
Okay, so recently they were under sanctions by the EU, and recently they won a court case in the European court. And then, this Navalny's team, they said, like, what kind of signal does the court want to sell, like, or politicians want to sell? No, politicians, they said. European politicians want to sell to Putin. And, like, signal? It's a court judicial system. It's not politicized. Their role is not to send political signals.
But do you think that the court cannot be politicized?
I mean, everything is politics. But generally, in a democracy, we have separation of power. And the role of judicial system is not to send any fucking signals. Mm-hmm. It is politicians who send signals.
Right.
And either you are stupid and you don't understand how... I mean, for a politician, I'm sorry. For a politician, if you don't know how judicial system works, either you're stupid or this is just a very superficial, cheap, populist. I don't even know if not even populist, because I don't know why who they're targeting. Where is the populace here? So why are you even doing it? It's such a cheap statement that doesn't make any sense. You just discredit yourself.
No, but if you think, I think it can be in different cases. I do agree that the judicial system is to uphold the law, and usually decisions are made according to law. That being said, I think it's different in different systems. Like if you have in a country, sometimes people make decisions. Judges can be politicized. Judges can make decisions that favor one group because they want to send a message to this group that they are looking to, for example, stay in their position or one thing, or just benefit from this group. A big example, and not to bring him up because I think I bring him up a lot, Donald Trump. he has a case in the US with this judge, and this judge is very slow to make decisions and very, very callous with her decisions. I don't want to go into big details, but she recently made a decision that makes no sense whatsoever, or rather escaped making a decision that made no sense whatsoever. And it can be understood that from making this decision, she was appointed by Donald Trump, but she's making space for her retaining her position in the event that Donald Trump becomes president again, or possibly getting a higher appointment. So in that case, I think she's trying to send a message by the decision by the decisions she makes, because in this particular case, they're very stupid decisions.
I think I agree that people can try to leverage their positions, but in terms of our ideas, and like especially this is Russian opposition, and Russian opposition keeps complaining about Russian judicial system being under control of Putin, and then they basically tell European politicians like what kind of signal, and that implies that European politicians can influence the judges, right? Because like why are you even talking to Ukraine, to politicians? Did they make the decision?
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, and what do you want European Union to be the same as Russia, where you just like there is no judicial system whatsoever?
I mean, they do have to release some kind of statement so they can release their disappointment.
Yes, release disappointment. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have a different opinion on it, but release disappointment. It's just like it's not aligned with your values. Well, the values that they state.
Right. No, I agree.
I hate when people make ridiculous arguments and I still have to listen to them because...
What do you mean you have to listen
no, okay,
to
when
them?
you have one person you like, another person you don't like, and there is a debate. I recently watched this debate, but the other person was so
I think you
bad.
told me about this, right?
No.
It's a different one?
They were so bad, I just couldn't listen to it. I just had to stop after every point because I also debate, I also participate.
Yeah, I do that when I watch debates.
But it was so bad that I just felt like, why am I wasting my time on this
person? But you continued.
No, I didn't.
I didn't
say
stupid person.
I didn't finish
so
it.
Rude.
I didn't say it's stupid.
You wanted to. You hesitated.
The problem is, I'm fine with people whose values are different from mine, even if I fully disagree with them. I just need them to be consistent. But that guy, the other guy, fully destroyed him. He just pushed his nose into inconsistency, and the guy still couldn't see it, and still tried making ridiculous excuses.
A mini complaining. Consistency is not a value.
Consistency is
complaint.
Consistency. Okay, I want everything. I don't like contradictions.
I don't
Your
think that
worldview shouldn't have contradictions. Would you agree?
Yes, sure. But I don't think
that's what I mean by consistency.
Yeah, I understand what you mean by consistency, but I don't think that you can negate some things. And this is not regarding this guy you talked about. I understand that. And I think, yes, when you make opinions, they should not be contradictory. But that's the thing, is that we're humans and we have emotions also. They have a lot of play in our opinions. We talked a little bit in something that is not going to be posted, but we talked about my lack of feeling of like connection to nation and etc. identity. Remember? Mm-hmm. And I told you that I do want my child to have some kind of connection to Nigeria. That is contradictory. It is, because I don't have it and I don't want it for myself. But somehow I want to see it in my child. I want my child to have some kind of connection to Nigeria and feel like they're from Nigeria. But they won't be from Nigeria most likely because they won't be born there. They'll be only from Nigeria because I am from Nigeria and I have a Nigerian passport.
But I think then we made a synthesis and you came to a conclusion that you just didn't want to have this gap.
Yeah,
your child.
Definitely. Yes.
So,
but there is some contradiction there.
I don't know. You made it. There was maybe initial contradiction that you made synthesis and you realized it's not actually about Nigeria. It's about the connection to the child. And
no, but I can have a connection to my child just from any other way.
No, but you have background of growing up within Nigeria, a particular culture, and that can be changed. So that's why it's Nigeria.
Well, I think like you should regard just the emotions when it comes to people's contradicting opinions. That's number one.
Well, that's the explanation.
That's not a big thing though, but I think that for you, this consistency thing takes such a priority that you negate other things. And we've had different other conversations that we cannot hash out here, but that you negate other things for the sake of consistency. And I just think that that's not how the world works, and it doesn't make sense as a thing to hold as priority over a lot of things rather than analyze situations individually.
If you analyze a situation and you see there is inconsistency in someone's logic,
not inconsistency
like values,
with not inconsistency with the logic, but inconsistency with previously stated things. Is what I'm because you do that.
You don't think people should be consistent in
I think
their
people should be
statements?
consistent in their statement, but for me, consistent is not like some overall thing that I would judge everything with.
No.
I will analyze a statement and try to figure out why the statement contradicts previously stated.
Okay, I can agree that I personally actually don't care that much about. I think people can change opinions. That's fine. If people change opinions too often, I do want to know why, but still that's fine, because an argument can exist, and like humans and particular personalities, histories, they're just carriers of that idea. And if an idea can stand on their own, that's fine. I will assess the idea. So it doesn't matter, like you can have a good idea and then a very bad defender of that idea. That doesn't mean that the idea is bad.
But doesn't mean that the idea has to be consistent with whatever ideas were had before.
By the same person?
Yes, people can reason differently about different things.
I agree with this statement.
Yes.
But I think that at any point of time, every human has to strive to have a consistent worldview.
I don't think that they have to strive to it.
I think that,
I think you want them to strive to it, but I feel like you limit yourself, especially, we've had this conversation before, but you limit yourself, especially in the sense of empathy, because of consistency, because of your idea of what consistency should look like. I don't want to get into this too much, so I want to go to my third complaint.
Third complaint. Drum roll.
Yes, right. It has to do with politics. Americans voting this year. Grow the fuck up.
What, stop voting?
No, grow the fuck up. You have two options. That is the reality. You do. And one of them is much worse than the other. Both of them are not great choices. They are not the best things that you could hope for, sure. And let's face it, Biden is old. It's a problem, yes. He has a problem with delivery of message, but actually looking at his government, it's doing better than was expected. He's not a bad president. And you have Trump, a fascist-leaning motherfucker. You have a Republican Party that is it's a minority, but it's a loud minority of fascist nationalists. This very hardcore conservatives. It's a problem for women if they have a Republican Congress and a Republican Senate. They already have a Republican Supreme Court. If you like to say you don't know where the party of the Supreme Court, they are Republicans. They fucked up abortions. Now in a state 2 days ago, they reverted abortion rules until like 1860 something, 19th century rules that existed before the state was even created. And they are going after different parts. And you're sitting and we fucking hate what's happening in Gaza. Yes, it's a problem. But how delusional are you to think that Donald Trump will be easier on Gaza than Joe Biden, who has tried to do things, tried to negotiate, and yes, put pressure on him, protest, show him that this is something that you care about. But don't be stupid enough to say, I won't vote for Biden because I want to punish the Democrats for what's happening in Gaza. And every congressperson that leads that movement is an idiot. Grow the fuck up. You have these options. Choose wisely. They are not the same. They at all. And if you, as an adult who has voting ability, goes to or stays away from voting because you think that Biden is as bad as Donald Trump for democracy, you're an idiot. I'm just going to say it. You can come for me, you can be upset, but it is another time. And you talk about third party. Why do we have a two-party system? We should have more than two parties. People have other choices. People have other values. That is true. It's fucked up that they have a two-party system. But guess what? It's what they have. And it's not going to change before November, you fucking idiots. It isn't. It is not going to change before November. So you have Biden and Trump. Guess what? After you make sure that Trump is not in the president, not in the presidency, then start working on changing this two-party system. Start working on developing a third-party system that can actually fucking win an election. Marianne Williamson is not going to win an election through vibes, people. She is not going to win an election through vibes. These third-party candidates fuck up the election for Democrats consistently. Hillary Clinton, Jill Stein, fuck up the election for Democrats constantly. And then you have a Donald Trump in power, and then you complain, you protest. Guess what? If you allow Donald Trump to win, you will be getting what you deserve, people. You will be. You care about Gaza, and you think that the way to help Gaza is to get Democrats out of Congress and out of the presidency and out of the Senate? Are you fucking dumb? I get so frustrated with these people. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Ukrainians also are waiting on them. Republicans are playing fucking, cat mouse with Ukrainian aid. Gaza also should receive aid. Gaza should receive aid. They cannot pass any bills. They cannot pass a spending bill, a good spending bill in the country. And you think that voting out Democrats is the answer. How do you think as a human being? How? Just explain to me. Because if you're not able to think ahead, and if you think you don't like Biden's response to Gaza, that is understandable. I don't like it either, actually. And protest, but think ahead. Don't vote only on one thing. You cannot be just a one thing. Just vote on one thing.
Yeah.
There's so many things that happen. There's so many negatives that will come from Trump being president. Don't be so short-sighted. It doesn't make sense to me that they just cannot see this, and it kills me. So yeah, that's my third complaint. I think I was very
quick rant.
I think I was very
passionate,
rude.
Passionately rude.
Yeah, but no, I really get frustrated by young Americans. I really do, because I understand what they feel for Gaza. I feel the same thing. I hate to see this. Really do.
We're getting old. Last episodes, we were frustrating with the young Ukrainians.
Yeah. And now young Americans, right?
What's next? Getting conservative?
Oh my God, right? Imagine
and like reactionists.
Imagine me. Oh no.
But sometimes I do feel like
you are conservative?
No, in some questions, I think like I am closer to conservative.
I don't think I'm conservative in any questions.
I think...
Fine.
I don't know about you. I was thinking about myself.
Yeah, right. Of course, as usual. No, but I just know about this. I mean, I said it very passionately because I live here and I do want Ukraine to receive American aid as well. But I really do consider that it's a no-brainer. I don't know what. Like, nothing can happen in the next. Biden will die, probably. Is that what can happen? And then you get Trump as president? I don't understand this short-sightedness where you cannot just see what happens. Like, macroeconomically in the US, they're doing fine. Better than was expected. Yes, it will affect your pockets are affected. There's fucking inflation. Those COVID. Come on. Like, a lot of companies are price gouging as well. Let's not even start from the company greed. But what does he want Biden to do? To sign a decree. To become just to give executive actions. That's not how the world works. That's not how their country works. It doesn't make sense to me. And I just get frustrated by seeing these reactions from young people who say, I'm not going to vote because I'm angry about Biden's actions with regards to Israel. I'm fine with the protest votes. I think it's fine for a primary. But come on. You know that Trump is not better. And you know that if Biden does not win, Trump will win. It's not going to be any other person.
Yeah, I think one of the things you mentioned, probably the biggest thing that some people sometimes, I'll be careful, because there's so much negativity today.
We'll end on a positive note, don't worry. We'll both say something that we really love about people.
Oh my, it might take a while.
Yeah.
But people cherry pick and just consider zoom in on one issue. Yeah. Don't consider the big picture, like all of the consequences, and don't consider the opportunity cost and like the alternative scenario. Yes, we see that scenario X is not good.
Yeah, but
what is the alternative?
Y?
Right.
Exactly.
And then you just zoom in so hard and you go so hard against person X who supports scenario X, then That what do you actually support scenario Y?
Do you even know what scenario Y is?
Yeah,
Because you're
why
not even
don't you
looking.
talk about it?
Yeah.
Because the reality is that sometimes we have to choose between two shitty options or not so good options. And
But one of them always thinks more than the other.
yeah, so cherry picking, I don't like that. Also, I don't like when people politicize some terms from like political science and
Like what?
history, like
What?
genocide, totalitarianism.
Oh my God! Should we get into that? No.
I just read a law today, Ukrainian law about national minorities, and it's not a big thing. They call Russia a totalitarian state, but I mean, I think most political scientists think that Russia is not a totalitarian state yet.
I think it is.
It's on the way there, but I don't know. It's just like, don't use it in the law. It's a political statement. Like you want to.
No, I agree with you in the sense that these words have a meaning, and I don't like these like using of like changing, just kind of bending the meaning to fit your own conversation. I don't like that.
Yeah, my problem is that,
but mostly because it loses its meaning.
Value.
It loses its value.
Well, for me, okay, meaning yes.
Meaning. But
then
it's just like you just throw it around, then
yes,
it doesn't carry the weight
exactly
that it actually does carry.
And then when we actually need to use it,
yes,
you just don't
it's
have
normalized,
it.
kind of.
Yes, people get desensitized, and they don't know. Like in Gaza, also the problem is not deep in the topic, but one of the arguments heard is that UN has been releasing reports that there is like this severe famine in Gaza even before the Israeli operation. And the problem is that if there was severe famine before and it's still severe famine, which like how do you make people react?
I think that people do blame Israel also for the famine before because they believe that Israel was in control of what was going into Gaza.
But the problem, from what I know, is that by parameters, objective parameters like body index, and like there was no people dying from famine, and usually when you have famine you do have people dying, and people didn't have in Gaza like body mass index lower than in other countries, so like don't call it famine,
it's not famine.
It's a very harsh word. Like have famine when 1 million people die, and like when no one dies it's also famine.
Then how do people differentiate these things? And I think it's just simply to make people alert to the situation, but nevertheless, I think that it causes these words to lose value as well. I don't like them as well when they're just thrown around and everything. And genocide is a word that is thrown around these days very quickly.
Yeah. And considering that it actually has a definition.
Yes, it does have a definition where people ignore it and they just throw it around. But yeah, let's say something positive we love about people. You know what I love about people?
What do you love about people?
We
have to make 40 more minutes to compensate.
Oh God, no, I don't like people that much. I have more things. I have more things I could complain about. just give me 2 hours and I'll fill it with complaining about people. I don't know what I'm gonna say because, I had a fourth one about conversation, and I've told you this before, but no, let's not get into it here.
Okay, good thing.
Okay, what do I love about people? No, let's be genuine. Yikes!
No, I mean people are. No.
Oh my God! Jesus Christ! I must do something. Okay, I love I'm really good at improvising normally. Okay, I love the human experience, and all of us do experience it. Experience. So yeah, not all. No, I love the idea that there is a human experience. And we all experience it. So yeah. There's some people.
Ridiculous.
We all have an experience. The human experience is an amazing thing. And I just really am fascinated by it. But this is a topic for another day. But all of us experience it. So there you go. There. People are complex. I love that for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it. I mean, I recognize it, but
I love it for us. It's good, but but
there is a lot to study.
But I don't like that people are not willing to access their complexity. Come on, you have so much inside of you. You're an amazing.
This is the positive part. What are you hating? Now you're complaining.
No, I'm being positive. You have a mind that is just so vast and amazing, and you don't explore different things that are around you. You don't ask yourself questions. I think it's so unfortunate that human beings don't really try to explore themselves more. But I love that we're complex.
I don't know if I like it, but this was the thing that came to my mind.
Eyebrows?
No. Is that humans are very different, but at the same time very similar. And oh my god, that was a false start.
I don't know why.
It's like
If you watch like people who are doing
comedy show and like
comment, no. If you watch people who give like motivational speeches in small groups, there's always someone there who goes like, and
but you have to feel the moment.
yeah, no, and it was that moment, you know.
It is actually a deep idea.
It is.
But
Did
you get?
I agree with you. Like, we're so different, but we have so many unique things. It even ties to my thing about the human experience because we have such.
This is one of them.
Yeah.
So the thing is that it seems like we are very different, and this is actually the source of my, I would say, compassion. Is it a word? Compassion?
Yeah.
Towards people. I'm quite egoistic, but like one thing that I think makes me feel connected to other people is that I know that no matter if there is a very rich person, they are having all these benefits of their position. I know that eventually, first of all, they're gonna die, and that might change soon, but at least for now, they're gonna die. 2, they don't know shit what's happening with themselves.
Yeah.
They don't know what's happening. They don't know why they exist. They don't know, they don't have this ultimate.
And even more, when they were children and they saw 2 different colored tiles, they chose one color and they jumped on that color alone.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but
What do you mean? When you're walking on the street and you saw like tiles or marbles of different colors?
Got it. No, I actually didn't do it.
You did.
Okay. So there's this connection.
Yeah.
And you know that we don't know what we're doing here.
I know, you're right. I'm just really laughing at my reaction from earlier. No, but I agree with you. Like, if there's one thing that we all have in common is that we don't fucking know a lot of things.
I mean, I like that humans are genetically quite homogeneous, if I may say, because otherwise it would have been so ugly. Well, it's already been ugly because some species haven't made it.
Yeah.
Potentially because of Homo sapiens. But like, imagine if right now we had actually different species of humans living. That would have been like a totally different thing. Like,
different world. Imagine you had a cave out there with some people living there. Right? Okay. We said good things. So this is goodbye.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Be good to your neighbors.